Hello and welcome back to the Ultra HD Gamer, and I'm just doing a random computer build featuring this Shuttlebox LGA 775 motherboard with a bunch of bad capacitors, a crappy Best Tech power supply that is only a 218 watt power supply, not too great but it should get the job done, a Pentium dual core processor clocked at 2 GHz. It is the E2180. Yeah, the CPU is so scratched up, it's just almost unidentifiable. If you can see that right there. Yep, you can see it. A SATA cable, an IDE cable, a 40 gig hard drive, because that's just enough to hold Windows 10, but I'm probably going to put Linux Mint on it. 1 gig of DDR2 RAM. I forgot the clock speed of the RAM. A CPU cooler to go with the CPU. And one of these little bottles of thermal paste, whatever is still in there, will be put on that CPU to help with cooling, or actually it's kind of needed. A bunch of screws and a screwdriver set to build the system, and I'm going to be using an optical drive, an IDE, a DVD drive. Let me go get it for a second. So this is the IDE optical drive I'm using. It is a DVD-ROM and DVD rewritable, just a combo disc, can write CDs, DVDs, and read them. And then this broken hard drive caddy and the thing that holds the CD drive, the optical drive. And then the, well, I'm not going to show it because it's not going to go on. But anyway, I'm going to kind of speed through the build, and well, let's just do it. So this is all the parts. So this was the build. It has a 40 gig hard drive, an optical drive. That's not the hard drive. The hard drive's under the optical drive. It has an optical drive, DVD CD combo drive. The cooler is right there with the fan. The only fan, actually the two fans, that little itty bitty fan right there. A bunch of bad caps, like 6 that I see so far, probably more in this system. And I haven't checked if it worked yet, but sure, this power supply works, but I don't think it'll work for long. It's a best tech. And it has a 2 GHz dual Pentium dual core with 1 meg of cache, 1 gig of RAM, not a lot, and it uses the onboard graphics on the motherboard. And I will test it. Well, this machine does not work, and I'm pretty sure I know the problem, but let me show you what it does. Does that. So this is only going to be a brief ending, because, well, yeah, there's nothing much to say, but the capacitors, go to the other side, there's one bad capacitor right there, that thing that looks like a battery, a bunch of them on the motherboard. There's also another bad capacitor right there. They're both starting to go bad. And then there's this whole line of bad capacitors with only 3 that are still good on that line right next to the CPU and CPU fan. So that is the probable culprit. I changed out RAM, same thing happened. And, well, yeah, it's just not worth it to get a soldering iron and buy a bunch of capacitors, even though it's cheap, and fix the machine, because that's just a lot of capacitors, and I would probably replace all of these too. And then that lone capacitor is sitting right next to the fan that I just showed you. And I think it would just be worth it more to take out the parts, and if I wanted to sell them on eBay, I would probably get more money than selling the computer by itself, or put the parts into another build, because this is really nothing special. The Pentium dual core, especially this type of Pentium dual core, a 2 GHz, 2 cores, and that's just only 2 cores. It's not like a Core 2 Duo that is much faster, has more cache and all of that. And also, it just doesn't have a good power supply. The hard drive is tiny, it only has 1 gig of RAM. So, what's the value of this machine? It's not going to run Windows 10, probably not. And it's most certainly not going to run the latest and greatest AAA titles, or even Fortnite, because you need at least a Core 2 Duo to run that, and a good graphics card. Not good, but a graphics card. So, I'm going to end the video here. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and bye.